I am Victor Gadman, Head of Field Data Science at Explorium. Today I'm going to walk you through the Explorium platform. There are two main parts to the platform. There's our end-to-end data science platform, which does all the enrichments for you. We'll go out to all of our external data sources, bring in the data, assess it, and then build models for you that you can then take, deploy, test, and do everything you need within the platform. And then there's Signal Studio, which is our data discovery utility that allows you to go out to over 25,000 data sets and find the signals that are relevant to the data that you're trying to enrich and look for. So today I'm going to start with Signal Studio. So Signal Studio, as I mentioned, is our data discovery utility. In this case, I'm going to walk you through a use case of a small business analysis where I need to learn more about my customers. I work with businesses and I want to know more about them. In this situation, I don't really have that much data about any of my customers. I know their name and their location, but I need to find out what other data is available out there. I want to be able to figure out if there's any risk in working with them, potentially lending to them and seeing if they're a customer that will continuously pay or potentially default, but I need to learn more before I take this data and build my own analytics against it. So I'm going to click the plus button and enrich the platform. So right now we're going out to our data sources, connecting to all of our data, finding what's relevant and matching it to what I already have. So in this case, I have a company name. So we're going to go out and find anything relevant towards what this company name is. And then I have a location. So we're going to bring back a lot of location-based information, demographics, weather, foot traffic, everything that you would want to know about the location. So you can see here that the platform went out and brought back all the signals. Under company, I have 474 signals that I can now search through. Geography, I have 569. And then we have some additional information around person and product. So maybe one of the first things I want to find out is, how old is this company? When did they actually register themselves? Is there any risk in finding out more about them? So I'm going to search for the word domain and see what comes back. So here's my domain registry, and I want to find out when did they actually create their domain registry. And immediately what we're going to do is we're going to take the data and then match it to your data. So basically we'll automatically take it and stitch it and append it to every row. So there are a lot of utilities out there today where you can go and find data, but the thing is you have to figure this out. You have to know now, how do I match it? How do I ensure I'm taking the right field and matching it to the right business? So you can see here, we automatically took it and we filled in all the blanks for you. I also want to know when this company might expire. So if a company has a domain that's expiring tomorrow and they're asking for a loan today, that's a little bit of a red flag. I might want to know this. So we give you the ability to look for all this data. I might also want to know if they have an online presence. So I can search for the word online and see what's available. So there's a lot of information that came back, and I could find out more about their business. I could find more about their location, and I could learn more about what they do. So I want to learn more about their reviews online, and I'm going to add this. I want to find out, is there a negative sentiment towards this company? This is another important factor in understanding if this is a company that you might want to do business with and understand more about them. I can also find out more about their website and see, do they allow online shopping? If they're promoting themselves as an online business, but they don't have online shopping, that's another red flag. So I have the ability to go through hundreds to thousands of signals and immediately choose them, append them, and have them added to our data set within a click of a button. So this makes your life super easy. So although this utility looks really simple to use, it is super powerful, allowing you to go out, get access to, as I mentioned, over 25,000 data sets, and then immediately take that data, click it, append it, and have it ready to use. At this point, if I want, I could just click this download button and download this full file, and I can now consume it however I want. I could run it through my business intelligence platforms. I can use it to help enhance models I might already have or create brand new machine learning models that will give me now more insight into making a better prediction in whether or not there might be risk involved in lending to this customer. So that's essentially it. That's Signal Studio. Now I'm going to walk you through our ML engine. This is essentially what Explorium started with as a business. In this case, I'm going to load in a B2B credit risk scenario. Now, it's very similar to how I started with Signal Studio. I don't have that much information to start. Again, I have a business name, I have an email, and a location. The only difference is I'm loading in historical information. I already know customers in the past that I lent to and that potentially defaulted on a loan or not. So I'm going to use this historical data to help build a model to be able to predict the future. But to build a model off of this data, there's really not much to go off of. What will end up happening is if I did build a model off of this, I would depend too heavily on the fact that they defaulted or not, which is not going to be a good indication in the future when I don't know anything about a customer. So I need to enrich this data, find more patterns, more trends, more relevant information that can help me make a better decision. So this is where I now come to the engine page. Now, this is a completed project. It usually takes a few minutes to run, but I wanted to show you how it would be when it's completed. And you can see here, we were able to immediately figure out what the AUC score would be if I were to enrich the data. And the AUC score is really nothing more than a way to categorize something into one of two buckets, true or false, yes or no. In this case, it's would somebody default on a loan. Now, if I were to build a model with the internal data, I would have an AUC of 67. Now, this is a score between 0 and 100. The closer I can get to 100, the more accurate I can be in making my prediction. Typically, if you can get close to about 90, that'd be as high as you want to get. Any higher, then chances are you might be depending too heavily on your historic data and not really on anything else that will help you make a better prediction in the future. Now, you can see I was able to pick what am I trying to predict, in this case, whether or not somebody would default on a loan. And then we go out again to all of our 25,000 plus data sets, and we found all the relevant information in relation to what I'm trying to predict. We rank all of our data sources in order based off of how the data was important and relevant to what I'm trying to predict. In the middle, you can see I was able to pull back 5,133 total features. And then we rank these features in order. And you can see the top ones that came back were FICO inquiries, polarity scores, or online reviews, trying to figure out, again, if there's a negative sentiment towards the company. When did the company actually register themselves? Again, looking at a bunch of information that's relevant that I might not have in-house. This is something I probably don't capture about my customer because I may not be asking these questions of them, but this data will help enrich what I have and allow me to make a better decision. And then we take all this information and then we run it through our AutoML engine and we'll create models for you. And essentially we'll rank the models and we'll show you the top 15 to about 25 models and rank them in order of the highest AUC down to the lowest that we found. And now you have the ability to take these models and learn more about them. So essentially just following the bouncing ball. I started with my data. I then enriched that data, built my models. We then give you full insight into the model. So it's not just one of these engines where we build a model for you and tell you, cross your fingers, trust us, but we actually will let you know the importance of the features, how the features interacted to actually make that impact in the model. So you have all the insight that you need to learn more about how did we come to this conclusion. And then I come to the predictions tab. Here I'm able to now test my model out. I can load batch files through it. I could run individual transactions through it. So this now allows me to run tests against it. I might already know if this company defaulted or not, but I want to see if the model that Explorium created can actually make this decision for me and see if it was accurate or not. Once I'm happy with this, say I want to deploy the model, or maybe I want to deploy a few. I might want to run some champion challenger test. I want to do some A/B testing. We give you the full ability to run deployments. I can just choose the model I want, tell it to create a new endpoint, and within a minute, we'll have an endpoint dedicated to you that now you can start sending transactions to it. It's fully secured using a secure token that only you have access to. And now you have the ability to run your models. There's no need to involve an engineering team or standing up your own web servers or buying additional software. Everything you need is within our platform. It allows you to basically come in, start from scratch, and build everything you need and have it in production. And this can be done within minutes, where typically this can take weeks to months if somebody was to do this manually, or even using another AutoML tool that doesn't give you the capabilities of doing what we allow you to do. So this is essentially how Explorium works. And when you're part of Explorium, you have access to both platforms. You can use them both, and you have access to our full set of data. We don't limit anyone on what you can or cannot use. Thank you for listening to this demo.